How you doing?
I'm very good. I'm feeling very rich anti-vibes, kind of.
What's this rich anti-vibe? I've been hearing it.
Rich, like there's a way rich.
Yeah.
Your shoulder is going to be up like this.
Okay.
Then you now hold the bag like this.
Yes.
So
Natural shoulder pad.
so that when you are walking, and you wear boo-boo.
You are walking with your ego.
Yes, you are a rich auntie. That when you they'll come and greet you, and be that's rich auntie vibes. I'm very good. I'm grateful to God for life. We're pushing on all sides, and I'm going to be aggressively marketing. I've set targets for myself. I'm going to bite more than I can chew. So I'm going to have to do the work to ensure it works. But I'm grateful to God for the opportunity, and everybody that is on my contact list right now, get ready. Over this weekend, I'm going to be firing marketing over.
We will mute you. We will mute you straight up.
But we're selling like yesterday. I danced. I'm like, Mabule show. Like literally, that's what I do now. I transform money into transgenerational wealth, land into money. Yeah.
How you doing, Nima Akasha Zebere? I love your scarf.
As in, I love the look.
I wish when I was a Muslim as a child, if I knew this is how they had
all the possibilities.
Maybe I would never to Christianity.
Okay, sorry you didn't see the diamond.
I'm just saying now, this I like the way the hijab. It just looks so beautiful.
This stylist for the month ahead is there.
Oh, the direct way.
Adila Hub. Modest fashion, so she took all the feedback and she worked at it. Well done. Yesterday I got criticized for not interpreting a proverb I said in my language. I am not apologetic about being an Isako girl, so I said which means when the big man is shaking their body as big, the poor man too shakes his own as according to his size. And I used it to buttress the point of, big countries, and because Nigeria is not a rich nation, it shouldn't have dignity, or its people should not have dignity. So I knew what I was saying. And because of that, I'd also like to beg to the governor to look seriously into the issue of insecurity in traffic. So what the boys call boys is simply collecting with menace, forcing people to pay to pass. So they will knock on your door or your window at Oworo Shoki area, Agege, on the island, everywhere. You just knock on your glass, pay, and all of those things are harassed.
What that matter to our guests? We have a date together that can answer that question.
It should be a secret.
How you doing, Obiajulu?
I'm doing amazing. So yesterday, after the show, I used to have, I have this fan in Ajayi Crowther University who calls from time to time to ask about the ladies, applaud us for the job we're doing. She called me yesterday and she was like, Obiajulu, God will bless you people on that show. That's your view. You, Morayo, Tobe, Nima, Miriam, YK, you people are helping us to grow in our lives, in our businesses, in our careers. God will bless you people. In fact, the management needs to increase your salary. They need to give you official cars. You know what? If you can call in on the show, please call in.
We had a caller who said that yesterday. We didn't volume up for you. We should have volume up for you.
You know what? Thank you so much. Thank you. We're happy that we're able to impact lives. This is an opportunity to help people grow. And when we get testimonies like that, it gives us that lever to keep going.
Especially that show on the smuggling. That one, everybody was passing it around. I mean, everybody kept sending me, Marital, this was an eye-opener for lots of people. I'm so happy that show blessed you. So, I like to say that please take your vaccine. The vaccines are here. Please ensure you get your vaccine. Because people see me on social media and parties. Because I don't get vaccine, I have two shots. Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, so please, I'm enjoying. Life is back to normal for me because I'm vaccinated. It doesn't mean I'll be careless, but I can believe because I can afford to enjoy and go to parties because I am vaccinated. So please get your vaccines. That's my message for you this morning. Let's go on a break. When we return, we go through the front pages of the papers. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
We're starting with The Nation. Toll payments returns to 5,000-kilometer federal highways. DSS quizzes former governor, 5 others, over anti-Buhari comments. World Congress's APC gets petitions from 14 states. Mohammed Fahmy dies at 53. Federal government Twitter close to agreement. And Shell agrees on the 45 billion naira compensation to Ogoni. 80% of artisans are foreigners. Which story are we taking? Let's start with the major headline.
Yes. So according to the Minister for Works and Housing, our tolls are coming back. The federal government has approved that 550 kilometers of road will be tolled, and they named them the Lagos-Ibadan Expressway, Onitsha, Enugu, Abuja, Kano, Shagamu, and Okenelo. Plenty roads, just about 3 in the north and the rest in the south that will be tolled for now. And the toll will be used to, to maintain the roads as well as build new roads. They vary from 150 naira to 500 naira on vehicle class. So we have the commercial buses on 150, the commercial
cars will pay 200,
cars,
SUVs pay 300, private buses will pay 300.
So this is reflective of the same. If you pass the airports like I do, the toll that we pay the airports in Lagos, I think that's the basis of how they are going to do it. But the criticisms were many.
There were many.
Yes, so we had past administrations remove tolls saying that there were leakages. That was why Obasanjo removed and said because there were too many leakages and the amount wasn't getting to the government directly, so he removed it then. And then they also converted it to what they call petroleum tax, which we thought are taking care of this. We pay at the point of buying fuel and all of that.
And now we're paying both.
And now we don't know whether we're being double taxed. Also, there's also the fact that, okay, this toll will not, that's the defense from the ministry now, that this toll would be collected electronically, so there might not be leakages, the type of that was
so you pay your monthly and then you just
yes,
use your card.
So the Shell Petroleum Development Company has concluded plans to pay 45.9 billion as compensation to the people of Ogoni in Rivers State for the oil spillage that happened in the community in 2010. Yes, that judgment was given in 2010 for them to pay, but there's been this back and forth between the company and the Ogoni people. And one of the things one of the spokespersons said when he was interviewed was that the oil spillage was not caused by the company, that it was as a result of the civil war. And there was a lot of destruction along that line, and that was what caused that oil spillage. So they've been going back and forth on the interest, because that money was awarded, it was supposed to be paid in 2010, 45.9 billion. So by the time they calculated the interest that they are supposed to have paid, everything will get to 182 billion naira. But though the Ogoni people said, we are waiving the interest for you, just pay us the money. So I want to appeal, Biko, okay, that the money, because according to the judgment, the money will be paid directly to the lawyer of the Ogoni people. I want to appeal that they use this money judiciously to develop the lives of people there. They need to, the infrastructure, they need to make sure that they put potable water. One of the problems they have there is that they can't even fish. They don't have good drinking water. The people need to hold their leaders accountable. Please, this is not the time to share this money.
We say there's a very, very grave mistake they made. The value of the naira now compared to the dollar, and these are multinationals. Nobody should have waived that interest. What are we using 45 for something million naira to do?
45 billion
to do in Ogoni, to clean up.
Twitter.
The artisan story, great concern to me. The Council of Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria, Koren, has said that 80% of artisans are foreigners, and we're losing about 900 million. I want to be sure it's billion or million. 900 billion to foreign engineering technicians and craftsmen to build our local infrastructure. And I can testify that many of our, according to them, that many of our old technicians are going to retirement age, and we don't have a proper system to integrate newer ones. People are not going to technical schools like before. Artisanship is dying out. So masons, carpenters, iron, plumbers, electricians, painters, tilers, many of those that are on construction grounds are not Nigerians. Most of them coming from Benin and other countries to work and earn money here. Yeah. And we need to have we need as a government to create a structure like the way the states, there's a state that we celebrated yesterday for training mechanics, automobile people. We should also create that one to train tilers, because we are many construction workers right now. We're having to employ people from other countries, and we would love to keep the money here.
Just to reiterate what the Commission of Education said last week, that's part of the problem the government has identified. What they're doing is they're trying to they have 5 technical schools in Lagos. I also know that what they're trying to do right now is to ensure that when children go to secondary school, you can, from GSS 3, you can decide, if I want academics, I want to go into those technical. So then you can now have good, your entire life, you can either academics or you can do technical work or something with your hands. Moving on now to The Punch. Recalled envoy diplomat arrived today. Indonesia defends assault. Businessman lands in Kirikiri for alleged defilement of 3 undergraduate daughters. Hush puppy. 31 lawyers volunteer to defend Kyari against FBI. Presidency, George rebukes Tinubu supporters, recommends checkup. Teenage headsman with AK-47 rifle arrested in Ogun Forest. Police trail gang members. Abuja police detain YouTuber for criticizing Apostle Suleiman's money miracle. Let's find that story not taken. FG reintroduces toll plazas. Nigerians to pay 500 naira and 20 naira per trip. And over 4,500 Nigerian doctors moved to UK in 6 years, says council. Okay, which story are we taking in Punch? Major headline.
Yes, so the Nigerian High Commissioner, Osman Oga, who was, would I say, assaulted by the Indonesian immigration officers, will be returning to Nigeria today. Be arriving in the country today. And they've had talks between the Indonesian and Nigerians, and the Minister of Foreign Affairs disclosed that they've been having meetings with them to find a way to resolve the issue. And when their people responded to the questions asked, they mentioned the fact that it was the man who assaulted their officers. That what happened was they met him and they were asking him to show his passport, and he said he didn't have it. He didn't have his passport. He left it in his hotel room. Okay, show us a paper, because we're actually doing a raid to fish out illegal immigrants. And he refused. And then he finally decided to follow them to the car. And when he got to the car, he gave, according to the story, he gave one of the officials an elbow on his nose, and that one was bleeding. So they tried to restrain him. Right. So probably the video we saw was more of restraining him. Before he was telling them while they were restraining him that they will find out who he is and they will be sorry for what they have done. And he kept repeating it. So, but when he comes back, they will find out what really happened from him and see how that issue can be resolved.
The ambassador to Indonesia that will be returning is Usman Oga, but the diplomat is Mohammed Buba. The one that was
the story that caught my attention, Apostle Suleiman. So what happened? A young man named Israel Balogun, a YouTuber, posted a video where Apostle Suleiman was, his congregation was showing videos. And what happened was that Apostle Suleiman said that God, angels are going to deposit money into your bank accounts. So people were now putting up their phones up, showing that, as to testify, that they've gotten alerts.
And they have?
So the YouTuber took the videos and posted it and said this was false, that this was fake. So according to him, Apostle Suleiman's men contacted him and said that he's going to make him disappear for posting that and trying to say that what they did in church was false. And then he was arrested.
Wow.
And now they were asking him to pay to get somebody with a landed property in Abuja, somebody with a level 14 civil service for his bill. And he was not able to meet the bill conditions. So his wife was crying out, has gone to the newspapers saying, please help me get my husband released. Because right now, so the proper thing according to the police is that Apostle Suleiman should have filed the case to court, right?
If he filed the criminal defamation, that's a separate matter, so he will require bail. That means he's been arrested by the police. And it could be a case of, I know about Kyari kind of arrangements by the apostle.
Yes, connection.
You have connection. So it's a sad one. But I don't expect that of Apostle Suleiman. Yeah. If you think you've been defamed, of which this person has a video, you will sue him in a civil court. Why go and use police to be punished?
So that's a topic that we're going to have to keep discussing, because not just on Apostle Suleiman, a lot of people who are high and mighty have that high-handedness. Or people who they feel that they can actually
oppress. Sadly, yesterday Naira dropped. Yes, Naira dropped in value by 5 Naira. Naira currently exchanged for 515 to $1. And there are speculations that it might go as high as 900 to $1. Findings show that the requests for dollar purchase by commercial banks are usually approved from the headquarters. But, because of the the challenge is we don't have enough to meet the demand. Full stop. And so the price will continue to go up.
But our external reserve is growing.
Let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Yay! My prepared meter has entered red.
Why are you turning off everything? First it was the car, and now the freezer.
My dear sister, with the rise in cost of food, electricity tariff, and every other thing, it is only smart for me to manage my electricity consumptions. You know why? The freezer consumes.
Babe, switch to the smart way with higher thermocool inverter freezer, the 50% electricity saver.
Wow! 50%?
So you don't have to always turn off all your appliances, especially your freezer.
Enjoy 50% electricity savings with higher thermocool inverter freezers.
My electricity saver, my pocket saver.
Higher thermocool, always there for you.
Be too sure. Stop germs. Live well.
It's scary, isn't it? Putting yourself out there, ignoring the voices telling you can't. Moments like these are when your fight or flight response kick in. Will you step aside? Or will you go for it? After all, what's the worst that could happen? So, keep trying. Don't stop. Don't give up. Push harder. Give it everything you've got. Because nothing is really impossible when you dig deep. Believe in yourself and go for it. Aladana, available in many variants to nourish you every step of the way. Thank goodness. Now that Grandma is here, I can take my leave. My flight is in 2 hours, honey. You know how the traffic is.
But honey, you still need to drop me off at the hospital.
Oh, not to worry, honey. That has been settled. I booked an appointment already using the Clearline HMO app on my phone.
You know we already have a plan with them.
Wow, interesting.
Clearline HMO provides you with flexible healthcare service right when you need it. You can pre-schedule and book specialist services at your convenience. Hello, Mama. Is everything fine?
My son, our baby is here.
With Clearline HMO, you've got a health partner with a cutting-edge solution whenever and wherever. Get your health managed by subscribing to any of our healthcare plans available to individuals and corporate organizations. For more information, log on to www.clearlinehmo.net. Clearline HMO, the health insurance people.
We don't almost reach, Abby. Okay. Guys, the mechanic is almost here.
Madam!
So what do you think is wrong?
Madam, no be smart way they want to use your bike. Carburetor and radiator, you don't pafuka. If you want to fix that, 50,000.
I guess I have no choice. Give me size 10 Allen Q.
Madam, the top don't spoil now. You need to buy new one. New one is 16,000.
Thanks for the help, guys. I'll be on my way now. For renting your tools.
Ride the digital wave for the whole year with 1 terabyte of data for just 100,000 naira. Dial *777#.
Thanks for staying with us. Moving on now to Daily Sun. FJ to lift ban on Twitter soon. Now, fingers crossed. Gani Fawemi's son Mohammed dies at 52. Really sad. IPOD threatens monarchs. PGs reported subjects to security operatives. 2023, George Ogunlewe clash over Tinubu. Shell to pay Ogoni communities 45.9 billion naira compensation. Jubilation as first commercial flight lands at Bayelsa Airport. FG approves electronic toll policy to commence on selected highways. And hush puppy. 31 lawyers from North offer to defend Kyari in the US. BC, want to start with the major headline?
Yes, so the federal government is saying that they've been having conversations, discussions with Twitter, and hopefully very soon they would have sorted out all the grey areas and lifted it. And one of the grey areas that's still pending in the discussion is the fact that they want Twitter management to have an office in Nigeria and have also a representative, somebody from Twitter who will be working in Nigeria. And they told them that they have to register the company with the CAC, with the NBC, that's the National Broadcast Commission, and be able to pay tax as well. So if you want to operate a company in Nigeria, you need to pay tax to the people of Nigeria. So that's some of the areas that they're trying to sort. But Twitter is responding and saying that, okay, they will also want to have that office, but they can't have it earlier than 2022. By the time they sort out all those areas, we'll be back to Twitter.
I was going to take the other story. So the former Minister of Works, Adeshe Ogunle, has urged APC to zone presidency 2023 to the southwest. According to him, the former governor of Lagos said Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu is the right person, alongside Atiku Abubakar, to help revive the Nigerian economy. According to him, these both have the experience to help the Nigerian economy bounce back to what it should be. And he believes that, he's hoping that the presidency will be moved to the southwest. However, we have another PDP stalwart, former national vice chairman of the PDP, Bode George, disagreed with Ogunlewe, saying that Asiwaju didn't do much in the 8 years he was in Lagos State and shouldn't be president. Okay, moving on to other stories.
I want to take the story of a landmark event. They say United Nigeria Airlines make history. They landed at Bayelsa Airport. That's the first commercial flight landing in Bayelsa Airport. They took off from Lagos Marital Mohammed Airport at 3 o'clock. In 45 minutes, they landed in Bayelsa. They carry the silver medalist, the Tokyo Blessing Oboro Dudu, who is a
because it's blessed, we can celebrate. We're not celebrating that he landed because
we're celebrating the opening up of more airports because once we interlink via the air as much as we have via road, more business transactions will take place.
I agree. The reason I didn't want to celebrate is because it's expected of them to do that. I mean, this is not something we should be celebrating at this time. But we will celebrate the fact that Blessing was the one who was landed in the airport. So that's good. Sadly, the very first son of Gani Fawemi, a human rights activist and lawyer, passed on yesterday. Really, really sad. He's a good friend of my brother, and it's really sad that this happened. We don't know exactly the cause of death, but our only prayer is that his soul rests in peace and the family can...
After a brief illness. So.
Yes. Yeah, we don't know that's what the Nigerians now. They don't tell us exactly what happened. Moving on now to Vanguard. COVID-19 enemy others seek shutdown of NIC camps. Assault. Return to your country serving retired envoys, tell Indonesian ambassador. FEC approves $2.5 million and 498.2 million naira for 4 power projects. 31 northern lawyers to defend Abba Kyari.
Hey.
Life of activism. Why 15-year wait for varsity, for the first varsity certificate didn't destroy Mrs. Rashidat Adeshino. And Oshomole carpets Kiyamo over purported plots to return to APC chairmanship. Okay, which story?
So
Major headline?
Rashida.
Go ahead. Let's start with Rashida's story.
Rashida Adeshino is an activist who, after 15 years, finally got called to the bar. So this is a case of hope for those who are suffering for things that they know nothing about. She had protested along with other NANS members, as National Association of Nigerian Students members in Unilorin at the time, over an increment of fees, of school fees in school, and they were arrested amongst others. She was remanded in prison, and suspended from school. She contested that in court. She won, but the school authorities refused to uphold the judgment, and they refused to give her her certificate, and she went to court, and she stayed in court for 15 years. When it was about 10 years in court, she decided, okay, I've been in court so long, let me go and learn, study the law and become a lawyer. And finally, she's been called to bar. She, in that article, she, just sort of said, shared her experience and, encouraged people to have hope. And I think it's the best way to go. The court is our resource for things like
so
this.
the major story, the federal government is saying yesterday that the COVID-19 cases reported in the NYSC camps are far more than it's been reported. And as a result of that, the Nigerian Medical Association is calling the federal government to close down the NYSC camps, saying that if they cannot vaccinate the core members, that there's no point having them there. However, there's House of Reps Committee on Youth who has said that the NYSC camps are actually safe and that they've been following all the protocols, they've been testing for COVID-19, they've ensured that everything is safe in the environment, and those people who have contacted the disease have been isolated to take their time to get well on that. But the Minister for Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Mohammed, is saying that one of the reasons we're having a spike in COVID-19 is the fact that there's more testings going on, and every time you ramp up people and test them, you see that we have more cases on that.
I want to take the power project. So the Federal Executive Council has approved for the Minister of Power that 4 projects totaling $2.5 million. This is strictly going to Transmission Company of Nigeria. There's a project because we know that power sometimes a lot of power is generated by the GENCOs, and the issue is transmitting it to the DISCOs. So now there's hydraulic compressor for Transmission Company of Nigeria. That's $502,000, and one is onshore, another one is offshore. About 4 major projects will be getting funded, and this would aid the transmission process of power from GENCOs to DISCOs. We're expecting improvements in power once this project is now executed.
Okay, the Nigerian Tribune. Let's find a story we've not taken. WHO announces 3 new drugs for COVID-19 clinical trials. Hush puppy. Nobody took the story. Abakari and 31 Northern Guard volunteers, lawyers to actually defend him. Let's see another story. All disengaged Kaduna workers should be paid appropriate benefits, at FG committee reports. Okorocha loses bid to stop demolition of his properties in Owerri. Court orders Shell to pay Ogoni people 45.9 billion naira in 21 days. And how and when Kyari can be lawfully extradited. Okay, which story are we taking in?
So 3 new drugs will be tested at the clinical trials, and 52 countries are going to be carrying out this program. They are going to be testing these drugs on COVID-19 patients already in the hospitals. And the 3 of them are artesunate, imatinib, and infliximab. So artesunate, we know it has already been used to cure severe malaria. I think the imatinib is used for cancer and some other diseases. And so they are saying that we already have strong measures on how to prevent COVID-19, but we need more drugs on curing it after people have contacted the disease. So there were pharmaceutical companies that released the drugs for free for this clinical.
This is aside the vaccination.
Aside the vaccination. So this is so that we can have more drugs in the market that would cure COVID-19.
Okay, so if you recall, the happenings in Kaduna State concerning the sacking of workers, and where NLC also took up the issue. So a 10-man committee was constituted by the federal government to resolve it, and they have come out with their own recommendation that they have to be paid compensation for the disengaged staff, and also the state, SUBEB, and Primary Health Care Board and others should be paid appropriate benefits. So they've resolved that, yes, you've disengaged them, but they must be given their appropriate compensations to accompany their disengagement. Okay, another story in Vanguard. Okay, I think that's all we can take. Let's go to this day, our final paper. Let's see if there's any story we've not taken here. Your opinions on Supreme Court judgments, malicious, self-serving, Buntel's, Kiamu, and others. FG set to reintroduce toll gates on highways. Senator-elect gets his certificate at last. Of Shimbajo, great nations to face security, economic challenges. I would have loved to read that article. Okay, that's all we can take on front page review. When we return, if you live in Koshofe local government in Lagos State, stay tuned because your local government chairman is here and we'll be asking her some questions. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
For nearly 7 years, I've dialogued with the masses on the streets, in the IDP camps and in the market. In the same vein, I've conversed with power brokers in both the public and private sectors. I decided to take things a step further in 2017 by bringing these power brokers face to face with the masses to foster accountability and transparency in governance, while promoting the entrenchment of democracy and sustainable development. As we count down to the 5th edition of the Osasu Show Symposium themed State of the Nation, the People's Constitution, I'd like you to think, if given the chance, what policies and laws would I create to better our collective state as a people? This year is all about you and I. The stage is ours. Sign up now to participate.
My name is Madam Omotolani Balogun. I'm a social care worker in Dublin. Adron Homes was introduced to me by my mom, though I've decided not to do anything in Nigeria again due to one reason or the other. But she insisted that we must, not only me and my siblings, we must have a place to call a home in this estate. And here we are. I'm proud to say I'm a landowner here. House owner gone, not be landowner again, because we don't build and finish. All the praises and thanks to God Almighty and to my lovely mom, Alaja Oshapi Yausi. There is nothing like Omonile, and there is nothing like stressing yourself to have a building here. And anybody can't come in without security check. So the security itself is what I bought and what I'm enjoying there. This is my mom and this is my dad. We are one big family in Adron Homes. There is no place like home. No matter how far you travel, home is home.
Adron Homes, making the incredible affordable. Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Your heart could be complaining about getting weaker by the day.
This shortness of breath can be your heart warning you. Unbranded cooking oils may contain high levels of trans fat and cholesterol, which clog your arteries, making it difficult for your heart to pump blood. Use Power Oil. It is free of cholesterol and trans fat. Power Oil for a healthy family.
Power Oil, Power Oil.
Confidence is important in life's little moments. Strong teeth can help, even if they get her into trouble sometimes. A great smile is useful to break the ice, and making friends is easier when you know you have fresh breath. I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. Its antibacterial action formula gives them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. The confidence of 3 toothpaste in 1. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
How we doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking, time is racing, lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw ether material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
Thanks for staying with us. All right, so she's a politician, business tycoon, and a philanthropist. She was once the vice chairman of the Ikosishere local government local council development area, and was currently declared the executive chairman of Ikosishere LCDA. Welcome to the show, madam. Good to have you. Initially, I thought it was the local government chairman, but I correct myself. It's actually the executive chairman of the LCDA that is here. You're so welcome, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
On your recent elections in Lagos.
Thank you so much.
Good to have you on the show. All right, so it was important for us to just bring you on the show to celebrate you because you're a woman and that you've been able to achieve this level of success as a politician. A lot of young women would like to be politicians. They don't know how to start. They're always talking about, I want to enter, but it's too dirty. And because you have been able to, I saw your rap sheet, and it was like you actually started from grassroots. I mean, you worked your way up. Please tell us a bit about your background, what you've done, and how you got here.
Well, I'm Zabolanle Bada, the mayoress of Ikosishere LCD. I will tell you, it is not an easy task, but yes, you have to start somewhere. I started this politics for a very long time during the AD time. And I started even with the member of the grassroots, like I was once a ward ESCO, I was once a lady leader of my LCDA. Then we started this, and I came out for councillorship, and the leader said then that I have to step down, which I did. That was 2003. But later, I was chosen as the vice chairman 2007. But despite, you know what we do in politics, it was took over from me, but I still not relent in my efforts. So in year 2007 again, I wish to contest, but my late boss, Senator Adebayo, said you are not going to be given this time around. Again, that there's a man on queue already, but you can vice him, which I did. So I marched in the year 2007 as a vice chairman. No, 2011. So I did, and we were on for 3 years. It was not even easy to be a vice chairman of an LCD because you are just like an extra, I will tell you. Yeah. It wasn't because it's a position that you need to be persevere, to be patient, and then endure with whatever you meet ahead of you. And the leadership, they were watching me. I never knew. And by the special grace of God, I came back again 2017 as the vice chairman. That you did it well. You never gave your chairman any cause even to report you, and neither had any grudges along the line. So we were on and on the same story, but I actually have it in mind, to contest in year 2021. But you'll be thinking, as God will have His way, the man died. It was so sad because I never prepared. As at that time, that was year 2020. Well, I emerged as the chairman. I never contested for it. You know how it's going to look like. But what will I do is challenges that I have to just put ahead of God. That God, this is your task. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to go about it. And by the special grace of God, we were able to perform there. Because we did it here within 1.5 years. People could, they were really proud of us in this SCDA that we will turn the Ikosishere around again. Okay. And people were now falling in love with the APC. And, with all these, I can't achieve all this without some people being at the back. A lot of advisors like His Excellency, the Governor of Lagos State, and my late boss, Senator.
Okay, let me throw in a few words.
So, you see, what I liked about your story, it was a challenging period for you, you know. But when we read it, we are happy that you were able to go through all those times when they were saying, it's not your time, sit back, and you kept being there. How would you advocate for women's treatment in politics? Why do you believe that they keep saying that's stay back, there's a man on the line? Is it you've been there? How was your journey so far in terms of relating with men and being told to step back?
Anyway, to be candid, if it were to be the leadership of the party, the oracle himself, he has this passion for women. He wants women to be there. But some men, and we women too, we need to talk to ourselves like I was proposing to have a forum that women must, have a forum that we will need to be talking to each other. There are things that women don't even know. We have to make them to discover themselves first. Some women believe that everything about them is they should get it from the men. The men, they are the edge. They must bow for them. They must do this. They must do. You have to do that according to the Quran. But yes, you still have to discover yourself. Who are you? Why do you come into politics? What do you think you want to? You want to be a follower for life? You want to be a leader? Or you want to be a boss? Or you just want to be selling yourself as a beautiful lady in politics? Those are the things you need to consider, and women need to talk to ourselves.
Right.
We need that.
Yeah, so to follow up on that, how did the women around you support your ambition? That's one. And what are you doing to ensure that there's a lot of representation of women in that?
Well, thank you very much. When I was a vice chairman, they wouldn't even know the real me. But when I now emerge, I embrace them because you need to embrace them. That is a way. With some women, we want to see how you want to talk to them. Maybe you want to be too proud. Women be in position. The way they feel, the way they. One thing we started on a good note. Firstly, I told them, don't call me executive chairman, call me mayoress. Let me just, so that I will have to be
free with them.
So they have this free, we're free with each other. We talk to ourselves. We talk like sisters. See me like the person you normally see before. Don't see me as an executive chairman. The word executive chairman, some people think, it's just a big one. Like our governor said, he doesn't want to be called an excellency. So that's the same thing I did. And I said, okay, I don't want people to call me executive chairman. Call me mayoress because I want to be interacting with my people. I want them to be just too free with me. That's what I did. And I could be able to carry them along in whatever they do for that 1.5 years.
Did they respond well?
They did. And they a lot of support. If you see women during our election, even the community, women came out to campaign, re-campaign for them.
Awesome. That's good.
Awesome. So how have we know we have more men in the area? You say a woman has to establish herself. How do you play that politics to win their hearts to get decide support? You also have to get that ticket before you.
Oh, thank you very much. I will tell you, a lot of men, they're already there at the top. But when you prove yourself, they will support, which I did. And I have a lot of them, the leaders, they are all, and though we have two of the top women, which were campaigning, like our Senator Oluremi Tinubu. She really has this passion for women. She wants women to be there. Yes, and she was the one doing it, and she's doing it well. Let her come back. What is wrong with this? All these men that are dragging with her? No, she can't be rude. The same thing, Sheye Shewa, Kemi Nesi, and the woman leader of Lagos State. And that's what they did. And all other leaders are around, I have around, even my SCD, even in the East where I belong, they're all men. And they stood by me. They said, no, it is you. A lot of men, I have about 9 men who came out.
I want to, we'll go there after the video.
Okay,
we'll go there.
so actually, we're going to go on a break
there.
now. When we come back, we've talked about how you got here. It's now what we want, what we would like you to do for us. That'll be our next phase. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Guys, we can't leave.
Yeah! My prepaid meters entered red.
Guys, we can't leave. We've got to finish the client's order tonight.
This time?
How about some top tea to cheer us up?
Only 1 bag of top tea makes 2 strong cups, so taste to know more flavor, enjoyment,
Great.
friendship, and upliftment.
Wow, this looks gorgeous. Beautiful.
Taste to know. Top tea.
So you gotta have a smile.
Change is refreshing. Your favorite Pure Bliss biscuits and wafers now come in brand new packaging. But that's all that's changed. The biscuits and wafers remain the same. Crunchy, creamy, and delicious. So keep enjoying your favorite Pure Bliss in a new pack. Pure Bliss. Light up your day.
Need to recharge your airtime or data? Try the Ding app. Ding is the world's leading online recharge service with the highest rating on Trustpilot, top-level security, and 24-hour customer support. Top up your own phone, someone else's, or receive recharge from anyone, anywhere in the world instantly. Right now, get 25% off recharge for any network in Nigeria. Simply use the code TRYDING25 at the checkout. Terms and conditions apply. Download the Ding app or go to ding.com.
Why do we do it? Hide, cover up, tone down. Choose boldness. Celebrate the skin you're in and dress with confidence with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. The triple layered care of deep moisture serum, precious cocoa butter, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Wear your skin with pride every time with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion.
You clean your teeth every morning, but that fresh breath feeling just doesn't last. The answer? Easy. You keep your teeth strong and healthy and give your mouth long-lasting fresh breath with new Oral-B 2-in-1 toothpaste. It helps strengthen your teeth and gives you long-lasting fresh breath.
So fresh, still fresh, and still fresh.
Stay strong, stay fresh. New Oral-B toothpaste for strong teeth and long-lasting fresh breath.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
Thanks for staying with us. So before we go into what we'd like you to do, I don't think we had a normal question.
Yes, I was going to ask about the challenges of primaries and how did you deal with your supporters, other people's supporters before the election, and then after election, you now have to be the one to marry them together. How are you coping with bringing everybody under one roof, even though it was a keenly contested position that you got?
Well, it's politics is just a game of numbers. I'll tell you, I've done this even when I march. I unify everybody in a position because it was like we had another party who won election during our last regime. But I now felt, what could I do even to, stop all this division in our local government? And I felt, let me just go to the leadership. I went around, I did that, and they said they're going to give me the support. So we already won. But yes, men will not want to see, some men will not want to see a woman being their leader, even at any time. But yet, the leadership who are meaningful will tell you when you are doing it well, they want to support you. And that's what I did. Even during the registration of party, I went into the community, not even all politicians alone, to come and register. Just because of the love they had for me, they all registered. So it was so easy for me during the primary. We came out, I went around again to tell them, I'm coming out to your daughter, you said you want to, this is the time I want you to support. And they did. And I will tell you, those are the areas I am commending women. They really came out then to tell them, look, enough of this in our LCDA. We want women, and this is a lady who have been doing it rightly ever since she emerged. And during the primary, they were 9 against me. Man, what do? I just still have to believe in God, because it was a real primary. Initially, the Oracle said they should allow me to come back even at the GSC level. So they meant just a man in my LCD with all the ideas just said, no, you're not going to take this or that. You have to go for primary. And people ask me, if you go for primary as a woman, will you win? I said, I'm going to win with figures.
Wow. Believe. But it was a tough one.
And it was a tough one. We came out. And on that day, it was.
You keep saying oracle.
Our oracle is, you all know the oracle of Nigeria. That's the Gabamba God.
Is it oracle?
Wait,
after elections.
Royo, please, because there's something that many people have misconception about. So they put this oracle as is know all, and whatever he says come to pass. But I'm happy that you mentioned that even though he said let her go, some other people in the party canvassed for primaries, and you went through the primaries. It's not like once anything that this person says is
that's a good point, because people say that the oracle just speaks
and nobody else can.
So is it that he only says I will support you, and then you are go and fight and fight based on your own popularity, or he just says no, it is Samia, it is Princess and wants?
No, when you are doing things right, the oracle will look at it from that angle and tell them, look, she's doing it well, why didn't you allow her to go? That was what he said. And they said, no, we are not going, but being who he is, that is a politician, and he wants you to exhibit yourself. And I said, well, if it is primary people are agitating for. Why don't you go for primary? Go to primary and let's see.
Prove yourself.
Yes, let's see how you begin to prove yourself, which we all went for primary. And when I went for primary, I never knew the men, those men were so few, because they never came out for the... So people never voted them. Wow. I just see the margin was too much. Wow. The labor was too much, because I was campaigning. Wow. At the end of the day, I said, so... How people want here? They don't use man.
It was a man.
Leverage on the power of women to get into.
And now the women supported you.
That's when women come together. So, I'm sorry, Nima, I'll come to you now. Talk about, I think, was it last when the elections happened? I think it was talking about saying, hey, people, let us not go and start looking for you. Pay a job, I to so rent you. I want to, family members start coming to disturb you. Or community members say, I want to do wedding. My child's school fees. Or come, Baba Miku. They're coming to
allow you do your work.
I hope they've not started disturbing you, because we've told them they should allow these new appointees do their job. So please tell, have they started disturbing you? Tell us now.
But as a grassroots, that you cannot do without that.
Wow.
And I will tell you, it is what I have been doing before I emerge, and I'm not going to stop that. So those things you still have to manage it. You will not be distracted, but you have to come to people's need. That's just the basic truth. Even if you do that as a Muslim, there is a gain on it. So when you are giving,
we don't want to use state funds for that.
It's not going to be a state fund. You have your own. You have your own fund. What are you doing? What do you want to do about that? Don't forget, you have to give.
You so it's your own personal you're doing.
It's my personal. And part of this, there's even an empowerment that we are going to start with. We did that even the last time I emerged, and we are still going to commence. That is small-scale support program that we're going to be supporting our women. That businesses. For businesses, so that you can be able to say at the end of the day. So I was the one that I was really, I tried to make sure about 100 people improve their. Yes. So that's what we're going to do.
Let's stay on this one, because it was all the International Youth Day yesterday, and I wondered, the level of youth, this empowerment that is so popular amongst our communities. You just drive past an expressway, and people are just sitting by the road.
Yes.
People are just sitting by the road. In those days, our mothers say, how can you be? You cannot be at the junction in my neighborhood. That used to beat you to your mother's house. What are you doing about this large number of unemployed youth within your own LCDA, for instance? And how do you propose, other chairmen do something about it?
Well, thank you very much. It's part of our program too. We have a lot of revenue that they were never discovered then. But as a woman, we are very, very inquisitive. We want to know what and what is our revenue, what and what is our own. Yes. A lot of books that are just going to our asset, I want to know. Yes. And I've discovered so many revenue that it has never even been touched for years. Wow. Now, we are not going to collect them by ourselves. We're going to put it on advert, and we are going to, there's another forum that we need to invite all our youth. So we have 70% of youth who are ready to take the job up. We have some that they feel you have to work and give them money. But I said I'm not going to encourage that in our government. What we are going to do, we are going to teach you how to fish so that you can fish forever. We're going to call them, come, this is a revenue. This is how to tackle it. You're going to be taking this, or this is your own percentage. And people that needed to be employed and that they needed to be taught how to, go into all this handcraft. Yes, we have all that. Like,
skill acquisitions.
School, yes.
We don't want tailor. We don't want we want to build empowerment.
We want to do real empowerment. Yes. Even the all these people, what's the vulcanizer? Yes. We want to, because some people just feel vulcanizer don't make it. You can't do without vulcanizing your motor, even at times in a week.
But let's have
we want to make sure.
So I'm very passionate about education, and the statistics have said that we have a lot of out-of-school children. So have you paid attention to the people in your LCDA? How many children are not in school? And is there anything you're planning to do to ensure that everyone around you, every child around you has access to education?
Well, the Governor Sanwo-Olu, he has really tried his best on that. Even, our primary schools, he did something that you can go to primary school without paying. And some people, they are still in none of this. Those are part of our campaign. During our campaign, we made them know that you can bring your children to public schools. And public school of today is not of those days in Lagos State now. It's like
it's upgraded?
Yes, it's been upgraded. When you go there, even some of them that have no school uniform, as a local government chairman, those are the intervention we did when I came. We did that, even school bags,
school shoes.
There was a Project Zero by Lagos State Subeb. They gave out school bags, shoes, socks for
Yes, they did that in Subeb. I did that when I emerged too. And benches, even to teachers. Wow. So, and I normally have different programs for them. So we have interaction.
Encourage them.
Yes, we come together.
I need to just put this in because October 21st is we cannot forget, and many people assumed that the people that came to attack TVC were from a different tribe or they were different people. But I know that many of them, and conversations around, showed that they were people from this locality. We've also heard, I do my hair very close to TVC, and there are times where you just hear, hey, everybody, they will clear the road, their attacks, cults clash. People that are Agberos, but they live within what are you doing to reduce or to embrace these people and give them a different line of job as opposed to just being touts?
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. But I would first tell you that is not true. There are people that attack TVC that are from this locality. This is a very blunt lie. Because the first time I had the day before that, which I did all my connection, so that they won't be able to come here. I call my CSO. My CSO does not even live around. That's a Saipon. And I asked him. So immediately we had, because I was hiding, you have to meet. Then it was test everywhere. But I was communicating with all the youth that please, the position must not be attacked. But just because of the love they have for us, they have already inside already. Before Saipon came, I said, those ladies must not be harmed. They must not be harmed. And go inside and rescue them. They did. And they are I think some ladies, even they gave testimony there that my CSO tried his best possible to make sure.
Who was it? Two of us.
It was two of you.
Yes.
That to make sure he rescued you. And he ran after some men. And they came back, they said they wanted to burn that the local government council. The youth now said, no, it's not going to happen. This is where we hit. And she has been trying for us.
Yeah.
And that was what they did during the answers. So after the answers, we try to, appreciate them, we talk to them. But ever since then, you see courses here and there. It's not, it's not in Lagos, neither SCDA alone. But we have been trying our best possible to make sure we curtail all this, and we are still on it.
Okay, so I see a lot of energy, and we have to wrap up with you very soon. I can't let you leave without you telling us those high points of what you will be doing in the next
What we should expect
3 years.
from you.
What should we expect? So we heard about the empowerment for youth. What else should we expect? Because we have an issue of environmental. Nima is always talking about the fact that sanitation is a problem. Maybe picking up trash, traffic around the potholes. Those are basic things that we want. So what are your plans to ensure that Ikosheri is better for having you as MIORES?
Well, number one, I would firstly tell you that people, when it comes in terms of roads, they have been commending us, and we're not going to relent our effort on that. The intervention on the education, we're not going to relent our effort. And the youth themselves is not a target, and the aged, the widow, we have this package for them every month, and that they come around. We made them know they are part of society, and we are going to make sure we never get anyone disappointed in all areas. And the sanitation, you said, Lagos State government is even supporting us so that our environment will be very neat as.
Are you getting your funds? Are we here? There's always money. Do they collect your money?
I've never had this before.
Okay.
That someone will be collecting our money. The governor of Lagos is a different governor. It's a governor that will allow you to work, that will give you free hands to work. So he has never deducted any dime from our money, and I've never had that any shaman is even complaining about that.
Okay, we have to. Thank you very much. Well, I'm going to hold on because my own street needs fixing. So if you don't do my streets, I can't mention the
You say it all off air
internationally. If by the time we leave this, if you don't fix my streets,
if really you are living in a Kosisheri, the last 1.5 years, what will you say about what we did?
Look up the streets here.
Look up the streets. Maybe your street is not streets. Okay, that's all we can tell. When we come back, it's Thursday. We just on Thursday. There's a hot topic in the whole of Nigeria. Everybody has talked about it, except your view. And until we talk about it,
nobody has spoken about it.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Not all washing powders are the same. Sunlight adds bursts of freshness to cleaning power to give you Sunlight 2-in-1 for sensational cleaning and freshness that lasts and lasts and lasts. Sunlight 2-in-1, sensational cleaning with burst after burst of freshness.
Growing your small business from where it is to where you want it to be requires all the support you can get. With GrowBiz from Keystone Bank, you have it all to unlock your business potentials. Open a GrowBiz account and receive business and financial advisory to give your business the edge to always succeed in the marketplace. Enjoy the free access to the MSME Academy, which helps your capacity to grow your business. Business loans with attractive interest rates to fund your business with ease. Maintaining your GrowBiz account comes at no cost at all. You have the business and our support. Sign on to the GrowBiz account on KeystoneBankNG.com and get the support your business needs to grow. Keystone Bank, we grow together.
Your heart could be complaining about getting weaker by the day.
This shortness of breath can be your heart warning you. Unbranded cooking oils may contain high levels of trans fat and cholesterol, which clog your arteries, making it difficult for your heart to pump blood. Use Power Oil. It is free of cholesterol and trans fat. Power Oil for a healthy family.
Power oil, Power oil.
With
my pregnancy, I started looking for the best of everything for my baby. When I met Morphix Newborn, I said this is the diaper I'm looking for. The formula of happiness for me is Morphix Newborn. There are no harmful substances in Morphix. I feel very comfortable while my baby sleeps peacefully. With its special umbilical cord and soft upper surface. Come on, mothers, try Morphix Newborn and join our happiness movement.
The place and it brighten. Make everybody be wonder. Waiting because of the shine. Lush hair, lush hair. Long hair or short doesn't matter. Crochet or dreadlocks can be better. Only for girls we know better. Lush hair, lush hair. So you want to slay? Slay with swag. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush hair. Straight or curly. You know they tango. Lie. Gotta be lush hair. Gotta be lush.
Beautiful people know how to make an impression, and that's why they only trust Lush Hair Extensions to bring out the shine in them. Lush Hair, be beautiful.
Turn around and get inside. Or maybe I better cool down for Jesus. Waiting.
In Nollywood, we know how to give a good shout.
What have you arranged myself for?
Because if we don't, you just won't get it.
Take it away.
Begin now. One day, snake will kiss you, will bite you. Don't worry.
That's the way it should be. Oh, yeah.
Shouting is fun when it's dramatic.
How we're doing, guys? Is the makeup in progress? Makeup check. Are the scripts on the prompter? Script check. Are we set in the VCR? All team in place? VCR check. Clock is ticking. Time is racing. Lights up. Plans all set. 120 minutes of hot entertainment. We are ready for the mission.
Now you can catch up with your favorite programs on TVC. Log on to www.youtube.com/TVC Entertainment. Join the fun.
Doubt and fear doesn't occur at the canvas, it shows in the canvas. It shows the conation of raw earthen material slabbed, stroked and molded at a pace provided by the doubt and fear. Every move way in the struggle of one to the other, merging the past to the present, brushstrokes of colors seen but not known. For when the wailing stops, the pieces settle down in abject beauty, erected for a century of a century. Speaking, advocating, protesting as the arts are meant to be.
She just said she spent the money. You spent the money?
If Trisha was your girlfriend and you can't give her 100,000 naira,
Look at your talk the other one now.
In Nollywood, we know how to give a good shout.
Why they go carry us go inside room? We say, come on, and open the inside, Babo.
Because if we don't, you just won't get it.
Nicholas took care of you. Why were you wasting our time then? You had us beg you.
I'm sorry, I was just trying to mess around with you.
You what?
Shouting is fun when it's dramatic. This week on Reality Check, we are back with all the things you caught online and those, well, that you didn't. For the latest scoop on the current winner of The Voice Nigeria,
You made a statement then. I know you cannot remember when you turned, when you people were trying to do your pitches.
I said this is The Voice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I said this is.
How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like a soothsayer.
Like a prophet.
Yes. Don't doubt me.
and then we settle down to the latest highlights from the Big Brother Naija show. Please fasten your seatbelts as we embark on the entertainment journey with our able commentators.
Right now, Sammy is the one everyone is bashing, and they are saying, people are literally saying that Sammy is forcing himself on Angel, whereas Angel is the one who shows him a market.
But if Angel is throwing signals, must Sammy receive those signals?
If you're a guy and you see someone like Angel, won't you receive it?
Shine eye somewhere else.
Yeah, I'll receive it if I was a guy. Sorry.
I am here to receive. Reality check, I am receiving.
These and many more coming up on this week's episode of Reality Check.
When I see your face, there's not a thing that I would change, 'cause you're amazing, just the way you are.
Keep watching Reality Check on TVC.
Keep watching Reality Check on TVC. Yeah, God bless.
Thanks for staying with us. So there is this drama that's been trending on Facebook, social media, and everywhere. It's trending. After a pastor announced his wedding to his new bride, it turns out that she's the wife of a member of his church. The estranged husband, however, has accompanied the claim as a complaint that in the photo evidence saying that the woman is still his wife and that he had paid bride price. The son of the pastor has also revealed that this father has not divorced his own mother before getting married to the member's wife. And his mother is still legally his first wife. This has become a serious discussion, and we think it's important that we don't just discuss the issue, but we take lessons from them and help us to know how to deal with issues related to these kinds of things in the future. That's why the ladies of YourView wanted to discuss it. So you can call us on 081-270-53687, 091-390-76948. Now, the part of the story that some of you might not know about is the fact that the wife, this new wife, also complained that her husband used to beat her, never took care of her, and didn't pay. And even her own mother came out to say, "You did not pay bride price, so you cannot say that you're married to my daughter." Furthermore, the daughter also said that they called the family meeting, where she had initially swore by the Bible, saying that, "Listen, I have divorced you, I'm done with this," because it was a traditional marriage. And she said, "Listen, I'm done with you. I want to go and find happiness elsewhere." So the man obviously let her go. She went on, moved on, and came to Lagos, married the new pastor, and it's a problem. So the questions, therefore, is, number one, when a woman is unhappy and feels assaulted by her own spouse, should she be free to find happiness elsewhere? If the answer is yes, should the happiness be with somebody who was like a spiritual father to both her husband and herself? That's really the question.
Then we can just put in one more rejoinder by the husband. The husband said he doesn't have any issue with his wife remarrying and being happy, but he feels like his wife loves him and he also loves his wife. And that why would it be that the person, that whenever they have any issue in their marriage, he goes to meet this pastor to say, my wife is doing ABCD, I feel my wife is cheating, I don't know what's wrong with my wife. That every issue, even when they were separated, he was going to meet this pastor to explain the problem. That he does not have any issue with the woman marrying, but she just felt very bad that how come is the spiritual leader that I am confiding in that happens to be the one that married.
Right. So the question is, shouldn't you find happiness with where you find happiness?
Spiritual leaders saw untapped juice and decided to help you tap it. Now you explain them like that because they are two consenting adults. So I will start by saying that we always advise women, if you are in a toxic relationship and it's affecting your mental health and it's affecting your children, because sometimes we hear, I want to stay because of my children. Let me stay because of my children. I watched that video when she was saying that her 4-year-old came to hug her to say, Mommy, don't worry, I will take care of you. So we advise women that if you're in a toxic relationship, it's okay to take yourself out. And then when they take themselves out, we come back with another baggage of judgment on how they decided to take themselves out and who they took themselves to. They are two consenting adults. I wouldn't have, supported a pastor marrying someone when you have not divorced your wife. But we do not know if this wife is still alive or not. We don't have that. But I won't support that. I won't support a spiritual head. For instance, as a spiritual head, so to speak, if you want to make certain decisions, you need to be very careful because of the positions that you hold and make sure that your books are clean. For cases like this, you can have something to talk about and say, this is why and why I made sure that everything was, sorted before I went this way. So that wasn't done from the stories we're hearing. So I will fault him for that. But on who you choose to find happiness with, I don't think we have a right to select for you who you decide to find happiness with. Now, the case of abuse, this woman decided to save her life. Initially when I heard the story, I was wondering, well, hey, pastor, just carry somebody's wife and all that. And I heard her mother and I heard her story. And I realized that this person just needed somebody to make her feel like a human being. And she found that in the hands of this man. Let me leave it here.
Let's come to you.
Let me quickly agree with BC that they are two consenting adults. That was my initial view on the matter when it was trending, that I don't bother about adults. So, for me, if you're a man of God, hold yourself to very high standards. Why I say so is that you should not be seen to just wake up and the woman is already in your house. The debate should be, okay, I want to marry this woman and you're wasting this much time and having that. I'm not talking about the woman now and all the abuses she suffered. And you're wasting too much time. People are, consulting other pastors, people in your field saying, this woman and myself, in the course of this and that, you're deliberating on whether it is ethically or morally okay to proceed. You don't just wake up. You're not every normal person. You just, and there's love, and you just explain it away. This is a member's wife. You have to have very high moral standards. And I'm going to say it carefully, because some people that are Muslims will come and say, yes, there was such an incident during the life of the prophet. But he waited. The Rasul waited and consulted till he was divinely ordained to proceed with the marriage, I think, of Zainab, one of his wives. So why I'm saying that is, this one just woke up now. The matter is just everywhere, pepper scatter. The son is answering here, and this dirty linen being washed and the embarrassment happening, you could have been avoided if you had the highest moral standards to judge yourself. Not by people judging you now. How do you judge yourself? Where did you put yourself?
Deserve to be happy. I mean, is it because it's a man of
your happiness? Nobody's disputing your happiness now. Let's not. You see these small things. Your happiness. See, this selfishness that we are forgetting when we say nobody else matters to your happiness. Did you see now that his son has lost discretion and is talking publicly about it? if your decision that your choice that you're making in life will affect other people's life, you cannot be happy and say nobody else matters. As I am now on this set, I will not do a thing that will destroy my family name and say nobody else's happiness matters.
Talk, let me go ahead. What are your thoughts on this?
I saw from this story, I saw a lot of selfishness, a lot of selfish people, and very little Christianity. You know, and at the center of this is Christianity. At the center of it is church, God, marriage. And yet, when I looked at it, there was very little commitment to either of the three. And more of, I was not happy, I was not okay. And for me, I strongly believe that people should be happy. I want to live a very happy life, and I want to be happy in my marriage. I want every woman to enjoy what I'm enjoying in my home. And if you can't get it, then go through it the proper way. There's a divorce proceeding traditionally for Igbos. Like, there are things you do. Not that you just move out of the house and the next thing you are marrying another person.
She said she swore to the Bible that she's
No,
divorced.
that's not, they don't use... I don't
and she
understand.
also said they did not pay dowry.
So, the mother's video was very, very... The mother's video, when you watch the mother's video, a lot of people felt that based on what you hear from the mother, you can understand why the woman is like that. The mother said that they were not paid bride price, but the man settled the family rights. So I don't understand. If he settled the family rights, is it because what is the difference between family rights and bride price?
There's a huge difference, and I will give you my own story.
So if he has settled family and they not pay bride price, and they were both married for 11 years, and you choose that your wife wants to go about and marry someone else, there should be basic communication. Like what the man said was, he saw it online. He saw the picture of his pastor being married to his wife, who has not divorced him. They were separated. The woman has her own perspective too. 2 wrongs don't make it right. Here I see 3 wrongs, which is why I said, in this place you have marriage, you have God, you have Christianity, and a group of people who should be committed to these 3, but are committed more to selfishness.
Right. So let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll dig further into this. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
If na one thing we are not like, na stubbornness o. Make you no near me or my family o. Because this golden moon cereal where we dey enjoy for breakfast, it contains iron and vitamin C, where they help boost our immunity.
Golden Morn, make every day amazing.
Nestle, good food, good life.
Showing up in style inspires great confidence. IVM G5T appeals to class.
Time is of the essence. With IVM Kappa, business and meetings are always on the go.
Fun time with the family. Thank you to IVM Kingdom. IVM Kara is always stealing the show. Isn't she beautiful? Influence defines a great leader. IVM Seriki is Africa's commute king. Strong, reliable, and durable. With the concept of regionalization, Innocent Vehicle is committed to satisfying its customers with producing their everyday dream cars.
IVM, pride of African roots.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
There was a pandemic that led to a lockdown. Then came boredom and more boredom. Now, it's time for the August meeting. Lagos, brace yourselves as Nevada Bridge TV presents Acapella, My Mic and I for the August meeting. 1 man, 1 mic, 1 stage. A night of 100% humor. Venue, Eco Hotels and Suites. Date, Sunday 15th August 2021. Time, 7 p.m. Tickets, premium table of 6, 2 million naira. Gold table of 6, 1.5 million naira. Bronze table of 6, 500,000 naira. VIP single seats, 30,000 naira. For bookings, call 0806-701-0127. All COVID-19 protocols will be duly observed. This event is for 500 guests only. Acapella Stella, My Mike, and I for the August Meeting is supported by AfriPay. Media support, TVC. This is a Nevada Bridge TV production. Packaged by Dope Boy Entertainment and Larry Mako Events.
Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission? Yes, but how? Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam. The regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
Thanks for staying with us. The reason why I wanted to talk about this is because, as BC said earlier, women are going through abusive relationships, and we try to encourage them that when it's too hot for you, take a step aside. But if you're going to step aside, how does the issue of morality and ethics, that's where you came in and saying that, who you step aside with? Should it be your husband's friend, his pastor, his colleague? These are ethical issues that we want to discuss here. And the other factor, the traditional factor, okay, did you divorce the right way? Did you pay dowry? These are factors these are real life issues that we want to understand exactly how it plays out and how we can learn from this experience.
There was something I found funny about the story where the man said he has been looking for her for a long time, looking everywhere for her, and suddenly a picture appeared on social media that she was getting married to the pastor. I'm like, you were looking for her. You don't know her family house. You don't know her friends. You don't know anything. And you looked for her for a while and you relaxed because you didn't see her. And suddenly, so that story there, it needs to be checked. That's one. Two, there's also, because we do not know when it started and how it progressed, it would be unfair to say that the man of God did not ask questions, did not talk to the elders, did not find out the right things to do, because we do not know how long it took for this man to get married to her. We just saw a picture and then we assumed that probably she ran to the house and the next day they had a wedding. The pastor himself, I'm not taking brief for him, I don't know anybody. The pastor himself could have made some moves to ask his people, is it okay, can I do this? And then when you say that a dowry cannot, someone can say dowry is not paid when traditional marriage occurred. And in my place, it's quite different. You can pay the rights. If they don't collect that 50 kobo or 50 naira, if you forget to pay it, let me even give you an instance in my own. So my traditional marriage was happening. They had issues with settle palm wine, settle palm oil, settle all of that. And in the frenzy, friends and family members that came for the wedding had already started eating. The ceremony was already getting to 5:30 to 6 p.m. and they had not collected dowry. It was somebody that ran to me in the room to say, they've not collected dowry. If these people eat and go, this is the end. Tomorrow they will come back and say, we didn't give you our daughter. So people now had to go and look for my father even disappeared. They had to go and look for him and bring him back. Come and collect this money. This is the real thing today. Yeah. So it can happen where you settle all the rights and that dowry has not paid. So if the woman says the dowry was not paid, it is very, very possible. But let us always know that when things like this happen, human beings react differently. People will have their different stories. Everybody is pretending to be hot or forming hotting now. So a narcissistic man will come and tell you that my wife is doing this, my wife is doing that, will not tell you what he did that led to what the wife did. So let's just handle the issue based on the facts that we see.
Value. Okay, let me take Godwin. Godwin, are you there? Hello. Good morning. You're live. Go ahead, please.
Yeah. Say good morning to the house.
Good morning.
All right. Yeah. You see, Obiadulo, I heard you talking about dowry. You hear me?
Yes, very clearly.
I can hear you, sir.
Yes. You see, whether dowry or other complaints in the house, that pastor has no. In fact, I don't see any reason why that pastor should go ahead and marry that woman. I don't see any reason why. Because because his duty as a pastor is to counsel the house, counsel his members, call the parents if at all the diary has not been paid, and all this should be done. Settle the matter. And even if it goes beyond that, maybe as the woman explained that she has been having a hard time in the house, well, if at all she wants to go ahead and marry another person, not the pastor. Because the pastor, as I see, has given a dent to other pastors around. That's adultery. Very, very wrong.
Right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you,
sis. I want to say that husband and wife having, a mature man and woman having issues, normal. It happens in marriages. The idea of you now seeking spiritual help, a pastor's counsel, is also a good trajectory. And as a pastor or a counselor or a therapist, it's like a therapist now having relationship with
the clients.
One of the clients. That's the
said
same way.
Adults now. They
that's the same way this one
way.
is. It's like a doctor found that the doctor is taking care of a patient.
Like a principal marrying student.
You know, there are things that are just not appropriate. So this has all shades of wrong from the pastor's end. Of course, there are many things wrong fundamentally with that marriage. And legally, they can decide to go their separate ways and evolve in life. But the involvement of the pastor and the pastor's job as to settle the relationship now ended up being a case of pastor now married the wife. Now, let's even talk about the pastor who personally already did not properly divorce his wife. So they are both. This current marriage is
like an adultery.
Is 100% like an adultery.
So, Dr. my question to you, therefore, if there's a woman out there in this kind of situation where she's seeking counsel, she's attracted to her
falls in love with the pastor.
With her pastor, yeah, or maybe a minister, or somebody in her church, or even her husband's friend who has been a counselor to her in this abusive marriage. Listen, and then this man beats her all the time, and she feels that there's no future with this marriage anymore. So what would we advise a woman like that in this situation? Are you not going to follow your heart and marry this person?
It's good to follow heart.
Yeah.
But shame now we don't lost.
Yes.
In those days, when they even say you caught, you have a chaperone, someone accompanying you out. You take time. When you in that delay, you're establishing your respect for yourself. My dad, so we used to tell us when we were young that if you're in an abusive marriage, please leave my daughter. He respected separation before divorce or reconciliation to give you people time to address issues.
That's a norm.
So if you have a marriage, maybe you're sincerely in that marriage, you are suffering any issues. It could be emotional abuse, because not be every beating, not be every abuse be beating. So you take your time, you leave. Your husband will not go and search for you everywhere. He will meet you in your father's house. He will meet you amongst your people when you're addressing the issue and saying, until this matter, these conversations I once had have been had, I will not do anything. You don't run to a person. You're not talking to some women now, their colleague is the next call. So you're having a problem in your marriage, and your colleague of another sex is the one you're telling every day, my husband is not good to me. That one will just be taking information. You don't open people's hearts and see their hearts. And then tomorrow you end up with that person you don't think you've been taken advantage of twice.
Let me take Ade. Ade, are you there from Malaysia? Good morning, Ade.
Yeah, Ade is here.
You're live. Go ahead, please.
This is my first caller.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you. See, this program is very, very an interesting program.
Thank you.
I'm going to align with Nima today. I think it's the first time that I will agree with Sister Nima for several contribution. Most of these things is really pathetic. Don't let us judge the author because it's something that is happening to somebody that is even close to me. Very, very, very close to me. At the end of the day, the woman has a lot of fun. When we are seeing the issue, by the time the issue has come out, everybody will base our judgment based on emotion or because of what is happening around us. But most of these things happen caused by the woman. Most of the women are this way. It happened to my friend that when he visited the friend, my friend traveled out from Nigeria. Pastor after trying to tell my friend's wife that she and her husband, they are not compatible. Can you imagine? Even though they are not compatible, as a pastor, what is it? What does it do to you? It's supposed to help them. We call you a pastor. We call you a shepherd. You are not supposed to be a deal breaker. Even though the pastor has feeling for the woman, you're supposed to tell her, oh, this is what you need to do. Or the husband, settle this matter and everything. And I want you to take this categorically concerning the other baby that is sending the family.
All right. Thank you very much, Ade. Let me ask you a question. Based on what I just said, based on this, if the woman properly divorced her husband, can she go to the pastor?
Give it time. So for me,
can she go to the pastor?
Of course. I'm not a proponent of divorce, but I strongly believe that some relationships cannot work. And sometimes maybe it's change or violence or whatever it is, it can't work. And if you get to that point, you are allowed to separate yourself and find yourself in another relationship. I felt that 7 months was pretty short for the transition culturally, but more importantly, you can't be a referee and a, what they call that stuff? You're a referee and a player at the same time.
Game.
That's the issue. So number one, pastor was wrong. Pastor shouldn't have done that. Number two, there's something that we haven't discussed. The fact that the mother of the bride said that many people did not expect that she would be able to marry because she's had 2 children. That the man felt that because you've had 2 children, nobody will take you. That's why the bride left his wife thinking that you will come back home. And a part of me was happy that thankfully somebody is able to marry a woman
but
that
we
has
now
had
have
2
a
children.
problem with the person who didn't marry.
Yes. So for me, I believe that a lot of women feel locked because they are married, or they feel locked because they've had a child, or they've had 2 children that they can't move on.
Please, Dima, please. A doctor can marry a patient after treatment is over. A coach can marry a client after treatment is over. No. There's no law. It's the only law that holds you. Yes, the only law that holds you is when the person is your client. When you're administering treatment, you cannot have that relationship. When you are done and you have settled that treatment, the person is no longer your client, then you can marry. There's no law stopping you because you have coached this person before. We have seen doctors who have married patients that they met in the hospital. Teachers have married students who had graduated from school. So there's no law.
Let's put the context. Doctor is a gynecologist. Doctor met husband and wife together and treated them for infertility. That's what the girl said. The girl said that
it was from the statement both of you made that I'm taking this.
Put it in proper perspective.
It was from the statement you made I'm taking this. A teacher can marry a student after the student has finished school and graduated and is a consenting adult. So let's not make it seem, excuse me, let's not make, if the student's marriage has scattered and she falls in love with the teacher.
You were the one advising them to scatter.
No, she didn't. How can you say that's wrong. To scatter, no, that's wrong.
You don't have that information.
Wait. Let me land though. Who gave us the time frame that you have to wait it for 10 years or 20 years before you find love again? Who gave it to us? Society. Because if it's the man that it happens to, nobody will fault him for replacing her in 3 months. Nobody will do that. Nobody gave us the time frame. Let us allow people the prerogative to decide when they want to move on after they have healed. Hold on. The context now is it is adultery because the proper things were not done. But the time frame, who you choose to love, that's not what we're talking about.
This is our desire for freedom.
This
is our desire for freedom. Okay, I want to be happy. I want to do whatever I want to do.
That's not the point.
At the end of the day, what we are doing is we cannot define what is right from what is wrong anymore. Oh, I want to be happy. I don't care. I want to be happy. I will marry whoever I want to marry regardless. Then we've lost morals. We don't know what is right from what is wrong. We must still be able to define what is right from what is wrong. This person
adultery is wrong, All of us on this table agree.
Nima, because I have Prince who will hold it, but let me come to you now.
Prince talk long.
Prince, thank you for holding. Are you there? Go ahead, please.
All right, good morning.
You're live.
Good morning.
How was the night?
That's a wrong question,
thank you.
sir.
All right. Please, you see, this kind of topic is not a topic that we really need to deliberate on. It's very, very simple. We don't need to blow so much grammar on it. The reason is this. If a woman is passing through a trial time in her home, it's very simple. Sit down and look at what is causing these problems. If this man has been abusing you, like I used to tell my wife, if I'm abusing you, see, marriage is not a do or die affair. It's very simple. Sit back. Can I still cope with this person? Can this person change later in future? If no, my dear, walk out of it. This is number one. Number two, a pastor where every home issues is being taken to receive counsel has no right in any way to take someone's wife. In any circumstances, it is very, very wrong. And I'm sorry to say this. I overheard you guys saying they are adults, they can make their decision on whom to be with. Being with a pastor is a wrong decision. In fact, being the pastor that this issue has been reporting to all this time is very, very wrong to be with him, whether they have paid a bride price or not. If you want to be with someone else, go ahead and be with someone else, but not the same pastor that you've been channeling your issue to.
All right, thank you. Guest Nima, go ahead, please.
So let's just put clarity on some issues. Student-teacher relationship is not possible. It's unethical, and I know the legal body, we have our ethics. I can't be doing a divorce for a man, for instance, now, while I am acting on that, start to have a relationship with him. And maybe the divorce is final, and within 2 months I'm married to him because we started the relationship already. I just want to be happy. If the wife knows what she's doing, she will come before the board with that issue, and I could have my license withdrawn because I have abused my position. Teacher-student relationship too is not possible. As long as when that child is learning under you, you're having a relationship and targeting when she will write to WAEC.
That's not what I said.
No, I'm just clarity
She's
on the issue. So we're just establishing the things that are
right from wrong.
The things that are universal as against the exceptions. There are exceptions to it. And those exceptions are slim. They will come later, but not the universal ones are what I'm establishing.
After the student
Doctor-student relationship is okay. You can be seeing a patient and the two of you fall in love, she consents, and that's a separate thing. But not while you're her doctor, you're taking examining her, taking advantage of the situation, or probably go and have a sexual relationship. You will just have a Cuomo kind of example.
That's what I said. It's the same thing.
So Cuomo have his defense too, but the matter don't scatter governorship now. So there are certain standards that are universal that you must respect. Now, I wanted to come now because Tokwe said the mother say that nobody will take daughter with 2 children. Mama, for God's sake. You are a mother. If the world will not take her with 2 children, what help did you give your daughter?
But she mentioned she did.
Wait.
Please, let's balance it.
No, balance, wait.
Let her finish.
That girl should be able to come to her mother, have a place to stay, have her mother counsel her through a trying marriage. And her mother will be the one to say to her, it is not yet time. You can move on. Even if it's with the pastor, but not yet time. Give it time.
How many years?
Because your divorce will be final. Now, to make a divorce final, traditionally, it's either you're returning bride price where it is paid,
or
you're not paying. Wait now. They say they're not paying. Husband say they pay. Husband don't post picture. Me, I see the side of the husband.
You see the money.
Their traditional marriage picture.
Did you see the money that was exchanged?
So let's not assume that they were arguing over oil and palm wine.
Like me now.
But the picture you showed, the girl knelt down and she knelt before his family.
Yes.
The assumption from the pictures I saw is that my dowry was paid.
No, you cannot assume that way. It is wrong.
Assumption. And based on I said I was going to make 2 points. If dowry was not paid, but family introduction was done, because in my own place is 3 knocking, and at any point of the marriage we can reverse. Dowry and all of that is not exchanged, returned in my own culture.
Okay.
Now you will approach the family and say these are the issues. If I want to divorce my husband today, I simply just return home and I don't show up in 2 weeks. He will come to my house. Because he went to my family. I have not seen my wife. You will meet me there. They will say, Madam, follow your husband. I will say, I'm not going. They will say, what happened? Then when they know what exactly is happening, family will then keep you back till issues are clearly settled. Either you want to go back or you don't want to go back, it is settled.
We don't know the time frame settled.
Yes. Let's go to a break.
Thank you.
The mother was
settled.
Is that they called for that meeting?
And they settled it and swore with the Bible.
But that's not the account of the husband.
Stay with us.
Your pics I knew.
We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.
Helen Paul! Hello, madam. Would you like to join us on this mission?
Yes, but how?
Just one question for you. How do you keep your toilet clean?
I use regular detergent and bleach for washing and removing yellow stains. I have been using it for years.
Oh, madam, the regular detergents and bleach are used for washing clothes. To disinfect your toilet properly, you need Harpic 10X. It is specially made for germs and stains remover. Harpic sticker formula settles on stains and gives 10 times better cleaning compared to regular detergent and bleach.
Wow!
The north is so beautiful. And the food, it's nothing like I have ever tasted before. The color.
Vibrant. What about the aroma?
The aroma, oh gosh. It smells just like this one.
This smells so good.
Yeah. Your Dambo Shinkafa tastes even better. How did you do it?
Onga seasoning. It's all the seasoning you need for great taste and aroma. Onga, Mama's helping hand.
Kehinde suffers from indigestion. His twin Taiyi suffers from heartburn. Sometimes it's the other way around, or both. That's why they use Gaviscon Double Action. It soothes within 3 minutes and lasts for up to 4 hours. For double relief from heartburn and indigestion, Gaviscon Double Action.
No more get up and go. Kids, we need you. Get going.
For the energy you need to get up and go every day, enjoy Cowbell Choco.
Thank you for staying with us. So we are still on this matter. Nima was trying to conclude.
I was trying to explain the issue of abuse. So let's assume, because we need to clarify this teacher-student relationship. If I graduate, finish, I meet my teacher in future and fall in love, it's okay. But not while I'm teaching.
No, the drama.
For instance, like your pastor.
And I still did not say that. I will keep saying
me and my husband, we have issues. My husband has reported to you already.
We need to pray.
So I now kneel down.
Close
and I say, Pastor, help me to pray on my marriage. Pray. But as you're touching me,
No,
let's use the teacher. Let's use the teacher.
Let me tell you. Let me have my own version. Okay, that's your version. My version is that the girl came and you want to go, what you do now? This girl deserves better.
Yes, she deserves love.
The girl is a fine woman.
She deserves love.
She deserves to be loved, cared for. So I'll counsel you.
Let me tell you.
I'll do everything.
Madam,
yes,
you are a beautiful woman, made in God's image.
Yes,
you deserve to be loved. You deserve to be treated
Thank
well.
you,
You deserve to be taken care of.
will you take this envelope?
No, it's not envelope.
There was
It's not
money.
envelope.
You said the pastor
We need to pray.
Mm-hmm.
You have to pray.
Yes.
Then go home and ask the Holy Spirit to minister to
Yes.
you. Can you still stay in this toxic relationship?
no,
Come back, excuse me. Come back in 2 weeks. Let's have a conversation.
Yes.
And it
And in
started
2
from
weeks.
there. No,
And
it's
in
not
2
2 weeks.
weeks. No, you deserve a good man in me.
Humble. This is not
She
finished.
was.
This has not finished that prayer. Morayo, you deserve a good man.
And then they hold yourself.
Morayo, you deserve a man like me who can give you a better life.
Did you see the video? There's a video of the pastor praying, wishing happy birthday to the
girl wishing
the girl was wishing pastor happy birthday.
that time.
Daddy, oh, daddy, you changed my life. I love you, daddy. You see all this our loving pastor. All these loving of pastors.
No, that's unfair.
Let's bring the conversation home.
Let's
Okay, so
draw
you've
lines.
had fun with all this drama.
No,
But let us
addressing point.
I see we are buttressing the point. But let us now take out. See, it's important that we elicit solutions and lessons from this whole experience. Because, as I said before, there are women going through toxic relationships right now, and they want out, and they fall in love with a counselor, somebody who has been their shepherd, somebody who has been their guide, and that man is divorced. He's also ready. They want to move on. When is the moral timing? What are the moral
BC's
steps
perspective. BC already said that
to ensure
we can't put a time frame to when it's right. But
so why are
I
we
like
judging
something.
them
I like something that there was something I saw someone do. There's a judge in Bielsa that did a public notification and because you want to protect your good name.
Some people don't know this now.
No, but that's how we're educating them now.
Okay.
We're educating you because if you're a pastor caught in this kind of situation and you want to protect your good name, you will do a publication that I, Pastor Kiniko of World Bank Church, I intend to marry a divorced and separated Mrs. Kiniko, who I will be taking in marriage at so and so date. This is to inform everybody that she's separated, I'm separated, and we are both as adults going to marriage. And I think that when you do that, especially if there can be controversies traced to such a relationship, the disclaimer protects your name in future I am divorced. Or the woman can say, Madam Kiniko, I want to officially state to the public, I am officially divorced from Mr. A, father of my 2 children.
Yes. I like that you said this to clear this. But there's something, let me wear my coaching cap now. There's something you can call this sort of relationship. It's called trauma bonding. So you're hurting from one relationship and the person who is giving you a shoulder to lean on, you suddenly start developing affection towards that person. I would advise every woman who is going through one or two things and is beginning to develop affection towards the person who is giving you a shoulder to take a step back because it may not be the real thing. Give it time, like Nima said, but that time depends on you. I will not put a time frame to the time you decide to give it. But let's be careful because a few years down the line, you may still find that the person may exhibit the same things you were running away from.
That's what I wanted to build on this trauma bonding thing.
Yeah.
So one person is at a disadvantage end, one person is vulnerable. The other person's head is correct.
Exactly.
She made the same. So, you know, some people try to establish rape based on this kind of arrangement. When we talked about the IDP camp women who had to resort to being abused, and they said no, they consented, but the women had no choice. So this kind of situation, you are the pastor, that you are the person who is counseling trauma, if you should be able to spot that this person is trauma bonding and not take that advantage.
Some people don't know.
It's
education.
When shame not there.
Yes.
When shame not there, you will not do disclaimer. When shame not there, you say you don't know, you don't care, you don't this.
Leave shame. Most people are actually in their feelings.
So now we've forgotten to mention that there are children involved in this mess.
On both sides.
On both sides.
Yeah.
So, I mean, based on this woman, she's leaving her children with the man.
No, with her.
She take her children with her?
No, the mom's perspective, according to, because I watched this entire season film completely. The mother of the bride mentioned that she's also paying school fees for this child. That's the bride has not been responsible.
Exactly. So, let's come to that part of it, because we are talking about the pastor. We're judging the pastor, judging auntie. Uncle that married her first, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. He wasn't a husband. Neither was he a good father. So, in that situation, as a man, should you just because you are a man, we should absolve you of the responsibility in this situation?
Because I told you I watched all the seasons of this film. The man came out to say that he wants his wife to be happy and he does not mind his wife remarrying. But he just felt bad that of all people that his wife could marry, it was the pastor he was confiding in. And I think that because, when a person weighs slap big, if you steal this cup, you stole my cup, and then I now come to your house and I break down your TV and everything, they will not remember that you stole the cup. What will they remember? The person that did the
one that seemed
activity.
Yeah.
So the man, what the husband did was wrong. He's not been a very responsible husband according to the wife and the family of the bride. But compared to what her reaction to the situation, everybody seemed to face her. And then we also tend to attack women more. There was a lot of attack on her.
You cannot beat me and tell me how to cry. I will choose my cry the way my body moves.
Exactly.
So you have done your own. You should be explaining to us why I decided for 11 years. That's a woman who wanted to stay. That's a woman who, in this generation, they don't even stay more than 6 months. They see the red flags and they are running away. For a woman to stay 11 years raising children, she still had hope that something would happen, that this man would change. See, they go to the boiling point. So let's not always blame. And is this part of the world?
I'm not judging how that she
always find a way to blame.
Find out what has to run.
I think we should see it. There are traditional ways of doing things. Most of us, we quickly discountenance our own methods of solving problems and adopt the Igbo ones. If we sit down sometimes and look at the rationale behind the ways our fathers solved and our mothers solved issues, we will know the wisdom. if you're in an abusive marriage, when you break out of that marriage, you break out of it respecting yourself and not allowing this kind of thing to happen. I would not even respect my mom to be doing a rejoinder on my behalf when I was dating, if you told me, I'd say no. You cannot relate trace it to my parents. I don't want to do, I don't do that.
Okay. That's all we can take on the show. Have a great day. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.